back to Summit Sunrise, and I am here with my friend Dan from Summit Extension, and we are talking all things fire safety. Thanks so much for joining us today.
You're more than welcome.
This is great to have you here because we were talking about, it's a really important thing, especially in Colorado. I feel like it's, forest fires, they are a problem here. They do happen, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But you have some really great tips for homeowners and people who live up here on how to harden your house.
Harden your house, and what we're looking at is we don't want to make a bunker out of your house, but we talk a lot about fire mitigation. We cut down the trees, the woods all around your house. But what about your house yourself?
Right.
So hardening the house is actually using materials that are less fire prone or more fire resistant.
Right.
So if you're lucky enough, when you're building your house, you can use stone for siding.
All right.
And you can also use what are called cementatious or siding materials that are made out of like a cement board.
Okay.
And then they stain up and they look really pretty well. Now, what's the biggest part of your house?
Well, probably your yard.
Well, no, your house itself is the roof.
Right, okay.
All right, so forest fires are spread more by embers being blown by the wind than the actual flames.
And we do get wind around here.
We do get wind. So what we want to tell people is roofing materials, you shouldn't use wooden shakes anymore.
Okay.
And if you have a wood shake roof, that's one that's going to probably take on some problems. The photograph right now is, why do some houses survive a forest fire and some don't? And this is from Waldo Canyon. And these houses were hardened and everything. And if we go to the next picture, here's a house that was completely surrounded by forest fire, but it survived because it had not only fire mitigation, but the house itself was hardened against having...
against those embers.
Right. So another picture here. This right here shows what is thought of as the proper way of mitigating your house. The first 30 feet out, you shouldn't have anything that's flammable or combustible, and then thin your trees out. And we've heard this message, but if we look at our house ourselves, in the next picture, we can use stone near the bottom where embers would blow up against the house and they won't catch the house on fire.
I see, so along that bottom there where there's that
That's
stone
right.
is what you're talking
Next
about.
picture is of a house that is made totally of stone on the outside, and this is going to be your best defense, and it's a nice looking bunker.
It is a nice looking bunker and safe too.
Yeah, so if we continue, here's a metal roof, and they come in nice ornamental styles and colors and everything. So the embers aren't going to get trapped on a roofing material and glow and start a fire. We can also put gravel next to the house and keep the combustibles away from the actual siding of the house.
Which also means a lot less weeding too.
A lot less weeding, you bet. So
that's appealing.
User friendly. Here's what we don't want to see.
That looks like a no-no.
That's a no-no. We don't want to see a lot of pine needles, pine duff up on your roofs, because
it looks like tinder to me.
Oh, one ember and it's going to start your house on fire. Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so make sure you clean those out. Oh,
so this is a screen material to put over vents to your house. Imagine an ember being blown into your attic through one of the side vents, or if you have a basement, a lot of time we have vents.
Vents, right.
The recommended size is about 1/8 of an inch.
Okay.
So here's a vent that on an attic of a house that is being well protected.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That seems like a very easy fix.
And how about wood piles? Well, if you put your wood pile, you have 5 cords of wood right next to your house. What if one ember goes right in there?
Right.
You're going to have a wood fire starting your house on fire. So
that doesn't really, that's not really what people have in mind.
So here's a mountain cabin that has a mowed lawn. A lot of us like to keep our yards looking kind of wild, have the wildflowers out there and everything. But, if we keep that vegetation down, we're not going to have a creeping grass fire coming right up to your house when things do dry out.
So mow your yard is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then where are you going to put your gasoline? On your front deck? No, put it away somewhere away from your house, because that's the problem.
Right.
All right, so how do we find our house? We should have a good sign.
Absolutely, there should be markers.
Yeah, markers, and here's one that actually is reflective. Now,
I see, okay.
Yeah, so Lake Dillon Fire Rescue actually has some grant money that will help homeowners within their jurisdiction, which is Keystone, Frisco, Silverthorne up to Heaney.
That's a big area.
That's a big area, but they're
Right.
going to help you put up proper signage for your house, so it
That's
can be
really
seen
nice.
at night.
Right.
You know, sometimes that's hard. All right, how about our deck and patio? What can we
Sure.
do to make our decks safer? Well, this really nice, colorful ensemble on the deck is basically solid gasoline. It's plastic.
Flammable,
Now,
right.
Flammable, right. So what will happen is if that catches on fire, it's going to just ooze and melt and then continue to burn, and your deck's going to be in trouble.
And here's some more with foam padded.
Yeah, so if an
furniture.
ember falls on your foam padding and everything, we really kind of have a problem where that's going to catch fire. So store things in your garage or in your basement
Right.
when you're not home. So
Makes
if you're going to
sense.
be gone to
On
Baja,
vacation or something.
Moab, store your stuff inside so it's not going to be more fuel for a wildfire.
Excellent. Well, Dan, thank you so much for these great tips. I mean, I hope that you guys all learned something from this. I know that I did. Where can folks visit to learn more about what they can do to
Well,
prevent
all
this?
3 fire departments within the county have community service bureaus or people, fire marshals that can help you with information.
Excellent.
But Copper, I can be reached at the main Metro building.
Okay.
In Frisco is Steve Lipscher.
Yep.
And then over at Red, White, and Blue will be Jackie Pike.
Excellent. Well, there you have it, you guys. And there's the phone number as well for more information if you need to make a phone call. But really great information, Dan. Thank you so much for coming on and educating myself and the rest of Summit County. It's really good to know these things.
All
And
right.
hopefully we never have this problem.
Well, you know, it's wet now, but it might dry out. So
Yep,
let's
exactly.
be prepared.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. And we'll be back with more Summit Sunrise right after this.